Good evening, folks around the world and across the universe. This is Tone's Take, issue number 56. And as I promised a few days ago, I said I was going to talk about something outside of the US. And what's more important right now than what is happening in the country of Syria? They just can't seem to catch a break. Literally. A new offensive has started this month in Syria. If you haven't been following along, I'm just going to give you a quick summary. But seriously, when we talk about pray for, certain countries and pray for cities and stuff, pray for the people of the suburb called East Ghouta, Ghouta, in Syria. Strikes began back in February of 2018. Or I should say February 18th of this year, really. And again, I'm not going to even go through too much, but apparently there's been like a ground assault with the Syrian forces going in there, and then they had some air forces, and Russia's been a part of it, and just a whole bunch of stuff. But basically, here's the humanitarian consequences. Here's what I really wanted to focus on, because this is the important part and the sad part. 250 people were reportedly killed within the first 2 days of the opening bombardment. The highest 48-hour death toll in the Syrian conflict since 2013. Since the 2013 chemical attack on Eastern Ghouta. And apparently, a lot of sources, both in England and in Japan, are saying there was a chemical attack just today. Apparently, chlorine was used in this case. 250 people reportedly killed. According to a medical worker, the situation forced doctors to use expired drugs, including anesthetics, because they had no other option. On the 21st of February, the British-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights reported that 260 people had been killed since the night of February 18th, with 106 killed on February 20th alone. And Doctors Without Borders said 13 hospitals and clinics have been destroyed or damaged because of airstrikes. Again, this is a war-torn country in the Middle East, and then it just doesn't end for folks here. On February 22nd, Panos Mamtzis, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, the UN humanitarian coordinator for Syria, reported that 80% of the population of the town of Harasta was living underground. The same day, the number of hospitals and clinics stricken had grown to 22, as medics and doctors stated that the medical system in Eastern Ghouta is near collapse, and that only 3 facilities remain fully operational. And these images are just horrifying. If you look at men carrying babies with blood all over their faces, international organizations were claimed there was clear evidence that hospitals were deliberately targeted. So they're actually, it makes me really sick to my stomach when I have to read about stuff like this. And again, we don't really talk about it in our news a lot of times, and of course, rightfully so. We have things happening here, but when you just start to put lives into perspective, just the number of lives. Yes, we lost 17 innocent children here, but man, there are innocent men, women, and children just being blown away for no reason. So on February 25th, 1 baby was killed and 11 people wounded by a suspected chlorine attack. How do you explain this type of stuff? Like, how do you, I just don't know. So I don't want to talk too much about this one again. Tomorrow I'm going to try to come back with something a little bit more positive, but gosh, when you see stories like this happening, another story in Nigeria, apparently more schoolgirls kidnapped. When you hear stories like that, you put things into perspective, and it's just like, man, this world is just so screwed up. The people are so screwed up. We're all just so screwed up. So that's all I've got. Give me your thoughts, even though I don't know. I think we're on the same page here. The fighting needs to stop. I don't know what to say outside of that. How do you stop the fighting? My heart goes out. My prayers go out. I'm probably going to try to find some sort of organization where I can donate some money to. My birthday is coming up March 7th. And I really want to just donate, you know, money to a bunch of organizations, mainly organizations where people are dying unnecessarily. So if you've got any suggestions, Syria is at the top of my list. I'm just going to be completely honest. Syria is at the top of my list. But yeah, this is bad. I can't imagine living in a place like that. I can't imagine living with my family, trying to imagine the horrors of bombing raids. You know? I really can't. So, sorry to be such a Debbie Downer on a Sunday, but again, these are the things that, you know, if we don't focus on them now, they're just going to continue to spread, you know? If we don't know our history, we're doomed to repeat it. These are the types of things that happened in Germany in the 1920s, 30s. Stuff exactly like this. And we didn't pay attention to it until it was too late. So again, that's all I've got for today. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all the subscribers. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like some of my other videos that are a little bit more upbeat, give that a thumbs up as well. But again, I like to focus on you know, things that are happening not just in the U.S. but also around the world, regardless of if they're good or bad. And this one is terrible, and we need to shine a spotlight on things like this, because it's happening. It's happening to our own human brothers and sisters. It doesn't matter what part of the world they're from or anything like that. But anyway, I'm ranting. You can obviously tell how I feel about this, so I'm not going to go on for too long. So I will leave it at that, folks. Have a great start to your week, and I will hear from you and see you all tomorrow. Peace out.